Hello, Leo. Thank you so much for joining me again. And thank you so much to all my Leo friends out there. I really appreciate you guys commenting and liking the videos and telling me what's going on with you. I love you guys. Thank you so much. So this week, Leo, from Le Vampire, you pulled the monster within. Internal struggle, personal challenges, wanting to improve. And then from Chakra Wisdom, you pulled recovery. Now, the monster within is talking about turning our faults and flaws into our strengths. It's about practicing discipline every day to create new ways of dealing with frustrations and difficulties. And then when you look at that with recovery, this is really talking about you unlocking pain from the past. The very first quote for this says that pain from our past unlocks the door of understanding. The inspiration is saying that where you are headed now, there are no locks. You will not need keys. This is about facing fears, wounding is strength, courage to face pain, awakening greatness. This is really suggesting painful things from the past being brought up to the surface and you dealing with them in a way that is strengthening you between the two of them. And you're looking at the past difficulties and wanting to improve yourself over what you've been through before. All right, Leo, here we go. Here is the energy coming through. The 10 of Cups, very nice. Happiness, happiness. Beautiful signifier. You're focused on your own emotional happiness right now. Beautiful, it's beautiful. This is domestic bliss. But happiness, being happy. And coming to that end of that emotional cycle and getting ready to start a new one, but carrying happiness with you. It's fantastic. I love it. And in the past, the 4 of Cups. And I'm telling you, that 10 is good to see with that being the past coming through. The 4 of Cups is boredom. It's like there's a lethargic feeling to this card where nothing seems to be good enough. And you're just bored with what you have in front of you. And then technically with this card, there's an offering here that's being made that is the Ace of Cups. But, you know, if you acted on that offer, that makes sense that this is here. But, you know, for some of you, you may not have been seeing it as good enough for you or just not seeing it at all or rejecting offers. But emotionally just being blah. And then you move to happiness. And in the present, the Page of Pentacles. So, you know, I'm looking at that and immediately I'm thinking of you learning something new and applying it to your own life. And it's creating happiness. The Page of Pentacles is, you know, that messenger, but it has to do with earthly possessions when you look at the Pentacles. But this very much can talk about new jobs, going to school, because technically this is the student. But this always reminds me of somebody who is willing to put in the effort that's needed to work toward what it is that they're wanting to see. And for some of you, you know, this could definitely be where you get out of being in this emotional funk and start doing something new here that's creating a little bit more sustainability in your life. And it's bringing you happiness, you know, and then the Pentacles, it's practical energy. But it's good. It's good to see. And the 3 of Pentacles, yeah. So for some of you, you know, this may have to do with going back to school. Some of you are starting a new project here and you're showing off your talents. You know, some of you, this could be a new job, a new position in a job, because this is just starting. This is new here. You know, even with the 3, it's still in the beginning stages here. But this is saying that, you know, not only are you showing off what you can do, you're working with others too. And immediately for me, it's like this feeling of maybe being bored at work and finding something that brings you a little bit more happiness and financial gain. But working together with others well, definitely. Your best path to follow, the High Priestess. Wow. Wow. So pay attention to your intuition, first of all. The other thing too is there's hidden wisdom here, hidden knowledge. And it's a passive energy. There's not really a lot of action being taken here. the action that you want to take when it comes to dealing with any kind of situations is to, observe the situation first before you decide to do anything. But I'm seeing this more as being emotionally intuitive. What is going to make you happy? What is your gut telling you? My mom used to say to me, well, does it make you happy? And if you give some bullshit answer about, well, I'm getting this from it and this from that, and she's like, no, that's not what I mean. Are you happy? And I think that's what you need to be looking at right now. What is going to make you happy? What is going to bring you happiness? And your intuition is going to guide you there. And for some of you, this could definitely have to do with somebody coming through, giving you some like spiritual advice and some hidden wisdom. But, overall, I just think that for some of you, if you're feeling bored in a situation, it's time to start thinking about, what actions you can start taking here to do something new that's going to bring you happiness. And the way for you to do that is to really start paying attention to your intuition here. And your environment, I'm telling you, it has to do with work for some of you. The Six of Pentacles is the give and take. It's giving and receiving. You're only going to get out of something what you put into it. And if you're just not feeling it, then you're not going to get much out of it. But I feel like things change for you where you're really starting to think about your own happiness right now. And some of you may be going back to school here, having to give a little bit of money to gain more in the long term. But I'm looking at you not being emotionally happy with what is creating financial security in your life, and you're changing it now. It's like you're focused on different opportunities coming through, But I'd like to see this as you receiving some really fantastic things here, especially with the Three of Pentacles. Oh, your hopes and your fears, the Tower. So I'm getting this feeling here that, and I may be way off, but for some reason I'm getting this feeling that some of you are doing things that you necessarily don't want to be doing, but you're doing it because you feel like you have to. And I think some of you are worried that if you start following your own bliss and start something new, it's going to shake your foundation a little bit with the Tower. That's more of you fearing things crashing down around you if you start something new. I'm not seeing, not with the Ten of Cups sitting there, because your focus is on your own happiness. And you just were not happy in the past. And you're wanting to change things now. You're wanting to start something new here and put in some effort. And I feel like, again, you're doing it with people, but, there's a need here for you to pay attention to your intuition when it comes to what is going to make you happy, instead of focusing on this fear of like the collapse of what you already have established. I'm not seeing a need here for you to, make shocking changes in your life. I mean, for some of you, if you've got fake people around you and you feel like you're just in the situation that you're doing because of somebody else, then yeah, there needs to be some change when it comes to your own happiness. Because this is about you and doing what you want to do that's going to make you happy. And then the outcome, the Page of Swords. Now, seeing that as the outcome, it worries me. It worries me that if you pay too much attention to the fear that, that's where things are going to start happening here. The Page of Swords is the messenger of conflict. That card has always been the messenger of conflict. This is the shit that you don't want to hear. It's the legal shit that you don't want to deal with. These are people who lie. Looking at it in the positive, it's about dealing with these situations with intelligence and grace and not allowing yourself to slip into that kind of cackling hen behavior, basically. But, I worry here. I need a clarifier on this. I don't do this often because of this being a general reading. I try not to get too specific. Yeah. All right. So the Queen of Cups next to the Page of Swords is not good. Not good. And then seeing the Tower underneath the two of them. Okay. I'm looking at a situation where, and this seems to be persistent, I think, for Leo, where some of you may have somebody that is like holding you back from doing the things that you want to do that's going to make you happy. I feel like you continue to do the normal day-to-day, but there's like new opportunities presenting themselves to you, in, you know, your best path to follow is saying, pay attention to your intuition. What is going to make you happy? You know, I mean, I don't think that a lot of people spend enough time looking at that question. We immediately want to come up with an answer. What's going to make me happy? Well, give me $1 million. That'll make me happy, right? But honestly, truly, ask yourself, what is going to bring you happiness? And I think for some of you, seeing the Queen of Cups next to that Page of Swords, you have somebody who is emotionally manipulating you into continue doing something that is fake for you. It's not what, your happiness does not lie there. And really, you know, because this is the central issue right here, the focus, right? The energy that's coming through. This is what you're focused on attaining for the week. Your happiness is like in question right now for some of you. And if you have somebody that's like, I hate seeing the Queen of Cups in the reverse, but I'm telling you, this is somebody who is like emotionally manipulating you into doing something that I don't think that you want to be involved in anymore. Or you're doing it to make them happy, but it's not making you happy. And really, there really is a need here for you to start paying attention to your intuition. Take some time to like really think about, what is it that makes you happy? What is it that you want to do that's going to bring you this happiness, so that you're not focused on this here, you know? And I'm looking at that Six of Pentacles underneath going, you know, the give and the take, right? Like feeling like you've put so much into something that's just not fulfilling you is kind of what it feels like. All right, Leo, we're going to take a look at the soul trees to see what the hell else is going on here. But, you know, looking at the monster within, absolutely, I agree with needing to, you know, fix those personal struggles that you're dealing with, right? And dealing with difficulties. And I just think, looking at it, I have to wonder if you don't have somebody around you that's making you feel bad for the way that you are, and thinking that you need to start fixing yourself when you don't, is the best way for me to put it. And then recovery. Recovery is saying, though, that, you know, if you really start to go after this here, there's a chance for you to recover a part of your life that you may feel like is missing right now. Inner power. Ooh, solar plexus, your ego. You need to start finding your own inner power. And I do think that some of you are feeling a blow to your ego right now. And I think that it has to do with someone else. The third chakra is your identity. It's your sense of self. It is your ego. And it's only ever blocked by shame. And if somebody is making you feel that way, you got to stop it. You got to start finding your own inner power and start to feel better about your own sense of self, you know, having that healthy ego and being able to go after the things that you want. Your energy just changed so quickly from last week to this week. But the persistent thing that I'm noticing with Leo readings, and I know this isn't resonating with everybody, there's this really clear message here that you have to be careful about the people that you have around you and them trying to control you in the decisions that you are trying to make for yourself. Because I don't think that some of these people have the best intentions for you. It's almost like they don't even know who you are. And again, I know this isn't going to resonate with everybody, but I just feel like it's important to say for somebody. But all right, Leo, we're going to take a look at the romance angels to see what is going on for you guys in terms of love. Extend your lighthearted energy to others. Absolutely. If you are happy and you're in a relationship and you have that domestic bliss, flirt with your partner. Leo couples. Here it is. Oh, wedding. This situation involves marriage. So for some of you, you're taking your relationship to the next level if you are not already married. For those of you who are married, I almost feel like you're hitting a new spot in the relationship where it feels like you're just starting out all over again. And I think it's fantastic. Overall, Leo, I would just be careful about, just don't let anybody stop you from creating your own happiness. All right, Leo. This one bothers me a little bit, and this seems to be persistent with a lot of your readings. Anytime you start to do what makes you happy or start acting on new ideas, you immediately get blocked. And I don't usually do this. I don't like to pull clarifiers because I don't like to get specific with general readings, because there are so many of you out there. And I know it's not going to resonate with everybody, but I had to see. And sure as shit, I do think that somebody is trying to emotionally manipulate you with the way that they're talking to you. And I think that what's happening is that you are suffering a blow to your ego. I have to wonder here with the monster within if there are even any personal struggles that you truly need to deal with. If you want to improve yourself, that's fantastic. But I think somebody is making you feel bad. Seeing this chakra show up is saying that your ego is taking a blow here, and I think it's because of somebody else. There is a need for you to be open to your own happiness, to the creative ideas that you have and acting on them. And then there's a need for you to tap into your inner power here when it comes to dealing with this kind of situation. And I know this isn't going to resonate with everybody, but on the other side of it, I think for some of you, there is boredom with what you're doing. You may have a really good idea or a new opportunity coming through, and you're going to put it into action. I just think that you're going to be facing opposition from somebody else. And again, it's persistent. Recovery, though, out of this is saying that there's going to be a part of your life that you're going to start to recover here out of this situation, which is good to see. I don't think that this is something that you have to worry about. I kind of get the feeling here that this is something that's being fed to you by somebody else. Now, on the other hand, for some of you, you need to make some changes with the people that you are surrounding yourself with. There needs to be this change that happens not just within you, but in your physical as well. The people that don't know you, that don't understand you, who try to block your ideas and you going after the things that are going to bring you happiness, those are the things that need to fall away with the Tower. And I really do think that there's a need here for you to pay attention to your intuition when it comes to what is going to make you happy. What truly is happiness for you? What is truly going to make you happy? Now, in terms of love, I do like seeing this for the singles, because this tells me that if you are meeting somebody new, this is going to be love. I don't think that this is going to be the person that's going to be emotionally manipulating you. Now, for some of you, it definitely could be a relationship situation. But I would like to think for those of you who are single, whoever does come in, I think that they're going to be a little bit more supportive when it comes to you acting on the things that you are wanting to do, especially if it has the potential to bring in some financial stability. Now, as far as the couples flirt and wedding, for those of you who are very happy in a relationship right now, and whether you're married or not, this is like a new beginning in the relationship. Now, some of you may actually be going through a wedding, and congratulations. But this is really about taking the relationship to the next level, moving in together, maybe getting married, things like that. But definitely flirt with your partner. And, you know, that might help as far as the block you may be feeling in your ego as well.